New fucking mutants, baby. That's how you make a goddamn comic book. This shit is fucking gas. Welcome back to Reading Every X-Men Comic Ever, the weekly series where I rank and recap X-Men comics as I read them in my journey to read them all. As you might suspect, I've returned to the Mutant Team after almost a month, and man, what a way to return. This shit is fire. This batch specifically was New Mutants 16 through 21 and the New Mutants Annual #1. And you might be able to guess, but they're all written by Chris Claremont. As for the art, we had Sal Buscema, which I think is how you pronounce that, who wrapped up his run as the main artist with issues 16 and 17. Bill Sienkiewicz took over the role in issue 18, and continued for the remaining 3 issues of this batch. As for the annual, we had Bob McLeod return, who was the original artist on the New Mutants graphic novel and the first 3 issues of the run. My apologies if I have pronounced any of those names wrong. I probably did. Let me know in the comments. It should be pretty obvious by now, considering I've said it a couple times already, but I loved these issues. The introduction to the Hellions, well, we didn't spend a lot of time with them. I thought they were a great mirror to the current team of New Mutants. The Demon Bear arc is an all-timer. Not just for New Mutants, but all of X-Men I've read so far. It's easily up there with Dark Phoenix. We also had Warlock's introduction, and that was a blast. And the annual as well, which was surprisingly entertaining, considering it's an annual, and that's not usually the case. Before I get to the annual, however, we have to go through everything else, which first means we are covering the introduction of the Hellions and the escape from the Massachusetts Academy in issues 16 and 17, which, as you might expect, picks up right where issue 15 left off, with the New Mutants being confronted by Emma Frost after breaking in to rescue Kitty and Doug. They do manage to escape this initial confrontation and make a plan to rescue their friends that involves splitting into 3 pairs of 2. The pairs have varying degrees of success at the jobs they were tasked to do, because of the interventions of Emma and her team of Hellions. These Hellions include Empath, Jetstream, Roulette, Harrow, Cat's Eye, and Thunderbird. If any longtime X-Men fans are watching this, or anyone who's been watching all of my series, you may already know that there has already been a character named Thunderbird. This Thunderbird is actually James Proudstar, and is the brother of that original Thunderbird. The only pair not captured by Emma and her new team are Danny and Ileana, who, after a fight with Cat's Eye and Taro, make a quick trip to Limbo. On their return, because of Ileana's portals going through both space and time, there is some time travel nonsense going on. But they do end up roughly when and where they're supposed to. They're just about a week late. They do try and rescue their friends at this point, but are stopped by the Hellions. However, this team isn't as bad as you may think, because they even offer the mutants their freedom, but only if they beat them in a 1v1. What the fuck is this? A COD lobby? Is it also snipers only on Rust? What are we doing here? You're a team. Do a team fight. At least do 3v3, if not 6v6. Regardless, the New Mutants actually agree to this, and it's Cannonball versus Jetstream. Cannonball wins just in time for Emma and Shaw to interrupt the unsanctioned fight, so Kitty decides to use her powers to make the room go nuts, and the team escapes in the chaos. Now it's time to get to the really good shit. Demon Bear. This arc follows Danny facing the fear of her, Demon Bear, which is the bear that killed her parents and is now coming for her. Her initial showdown with it results in the bear winning, and she is hurt so badly she has to go to a hospital. And that's how you know shit's bad. Hospitals rarely ever come up in this shit. However, since she's in the hospital, it means that the rest of the team has to protect her, and to be honest, they are fairly successful, thanks to Ileana's wards and magic. The bear, however, gets annoyed and decides to give himself the home field advantage, and takes them all to his home plane, the Badlands. And it also corrupts a cop and a nurse to make some allies for itself. This is the point where the New Mutants end up faltering a bit, but they realize the secret to winning against this demon is teamwork, and they kick the bear's ass together. And when I tell you, the way I popped off when they started working together, holy shit. From the moment Amara saves Ileana. To the final slice of the bear. It was so fucking hype. This shit rules. I honestly don't think there's been a better teamwork moment in any of these books. And the art, man, holy shit. The art's so good. There is nothing else like it. It is perfect for not only this arc, but the book in general. Like, just look at some of these pages and tell me it's not incredible. If you are, you're fucking lying. Yeah, in the end, the New Mutants win, the bear is defeated, Danny is alive, and also her parents are now back alive for some reason. Turns out they were the bear, or in the bear? Something like that. As a reprieve from the fight of their lives, the girls decide to have a slumber party with a bunch of normal guests. However, Warlock, who is a techno-organic alien, decides to crash the party. He is looking for energy and help with defeating his abusive father who's trying to kill him. The team then has to recruit Doug Ramsey to help communicate with Warlock and prove that they come in peace and they can actually help him. This now brings us to New Mutants Annual number 1, where the New Mutants, including Doug and Warlock, who are now a part of the team, go to a rock concert that turns out to be a ploy to activate a Stargate by a thief who is trying to sell the Earth to a race of alien enslavers, only to prove to herself that she is the best thief in the galaxy. Fucking sure. Sam gets some love in this, literally, while Roberto laments that it should have been him. Well, it is an annual, and it still does have that isolated nature that all of the X-Men annuals have had. I think the premise in this one is much better and more entertaining, that it just held my attention more. And I think that's it for this week. I'm pretty sure I covered all the important stuff within these comics, but I do highly recommend that you go and read these issues themselves. There's a bunch of great stuff in here that I glossed over, so please go read them, especially issues 18 through 20, which are the Demon Bear arc issues. I really think more people should just experience Peak. That being said, though, this series as a whole is really living up to my expectations of it, so you should just read the whole thing. Here are the rankings for everything I've read this week. There is actually a 10 in there, a lot of 9s and 8s, because yeah, this series is really, really good. If you've gotten all the way through the video, I really, really appreciate it. And if you liked it at all, please hit any of those buttons either below or on the side. Follows, likes, subscribes. And if you've actually read these issues, let me know in the comments what you thought on them. I would love to hear them. And next week, it is back to the West Coast as I dive back into the life and times of one Allison Blair. At least I think she's on the West Coast. Anyways, see you next week.